Eight. The Link, Carrier, IT&E, Calvo Enterprises, and the Thrive Coalition, where we remind you that it takes a whole entire village to raise healthy and drug-free youth. And let's get on the guard here, and they brought a bunch of friends as we kick off Red Ribbon Week. We have Sergeant First Class Karina Andre. We've also got Jason Lee Cruz, who's a health counselor over at Teason High School, home of the Titans. And who else we got here? Sergeant Paul coming in?
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's wrapping up the school presentation.
Good morning, Sarge.
Good morning, Chris.
How are you?
Rita and Jason.
Jesus.
And
Hello.
my other friend, Jason Cruz.
Right. Yeah. Good morning,
Good morning.
Jason Cruz.
Good morning, sir.
And welcome to the Link on the Breeze 93.9. Let's just get right into it. Karina, I know that Red Ribbon Week, it's just normally a huge deal. You guys go out to the schools. You do the proc signing. I hosted a 5K one year. That's kind of changed with COVID. So just tell us, first of all, how you've been able to kind of celebrate Red Ribbon Week and also get that crucial message about being drug-free out to the youth of this island.
Well, thank you. Chris, every year, the Red Ribbon Committee, we meet, I would say about March timeframe. And we're talking about over 40 organizations that come together. A lot of wonderful people from DOE, local law enforcement agencies, federal, community-based organizations, the courts, and a lot of our local businesses, to even include the Guam Chambers. So we plan way out. And so because of COVID, we had to make a lot of adjustments. And one of our biggest two factors in just going, in moving forward with Red Ribbon Week is that even through CADCA and SAMHSA and all of these wonderful drug-free coalitions and communities, organizations nationwide, they still want to conduct Red Ribbon activities. And we just felt like, we still need to do something, even if we shifted it to the right just a little bit. So we put our heads together through the whole committee, and we just said, we need to find the safest way possible. So all of the partners, the community partners, we decided as a team to go strong on the media coverage, because that is something that we really we were really planning on for years before. We just wanted to get on the radio shows, on TVs, do commercials, and have the kids, the youth, just be involved with it. And just to, the kids, they're great. They're energetic. They love to talk about their experiences or their concerns. And then we also were very considerate in understanding the challenges that the teachers and the students would have in learning this whole virtual, learning and adjustments. So we then decided to just say, okay, we'll keep it simple, but we're still going to do our best to make an impact. And I'm happy to say right now, of course, as you can see, I have Mr. Jason Cruz, who is one of our very, very true supporters for over the years. Since yesterday too on the show, he was talking about how we've met up since 2005, and along with the Sergeant Paul Tapau and a couple of our committee members, we're doing some virtual education outreaches right now. My team included, the counter direct staff. There are a few schools that have been requesting for us to still come out and conduct virtually.
Right.
Of course, all optional, not to interfere with the curriculum, but we're happy to still support that. So, yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. How are you guys holding these virtual conferences with these students? You just create a Zoom room and everybody comes in?
Yes, and I'm going to have Sergeant Tapau talk about that, because he's the breadwinner here. But originally, it all started with, it was very difficult for us to have our own link. So the schools were the ones that were like, Sergeant Andre, we have our own link. We can either do Zoom or, I mean, they were just very aggressive. We were like, how do you say no? They were like, okay, well, can you teach me? Because I'm not really that, smart. I'm not really very technical and stuff. So they are just awesome. I think even the kids are even going to teach us a few things, but Sergeant Tafau, oh boy, thank you, Sergeant Tafau.
Yeah, he actually went into the wrong Zoom room, and so we were able to guide him over here to the right one. Thank you, Sarge.
Yeah.
No, hey, thanks for having me. I just left one of those presentations that Sergeant Andre was talking about.
Oh, nice.
And where we are now with Red Ribbon, gone are the days where we have over 4,000 kids screaming at us, enjoying high-fiving. And, I just left Finagayan. We just did the entire second grade class. And, I want to thank Sergeant Andre and the team for really being, versatile with understanding and finding innovative ways in which we can still connect to the kids. And I think it's important that we maintain that relationship with the kids, with the challenges that we face. We had practice and trial runs. I want to thank the team from CO Taitano Elementary School. We got a chance to go into the Google Classroom. It was great. We learned, the hiccups that came along with it. We're starting to see it, and we're preparing as we move along with the school presentations. But we're really still being a part with the schools, with the challenges. The counter drug team, they're a great team. We did our first entire school presentation with Finagayan yesterday, and I gotta admit, man, I gotta give my hats off to them. They did a phenomenal job. It really is. I'm so used to holding a mic, starting a prep cheer. Teaching the kids about,
right.
Hey, this is where we are. Hoorah, hoorah, and all that. And the challenges that we face now. I think it really is. It's incumbent upon us as leaders and role models that we find innovative ways in which we can still connect. So. Red Ribbon, this is going to be a celebrated week, 2 weeks. So we're going to be in the school. So I want to thank you guys at KUM for really donning the red ribbons, because it really shows the commitment for a drug-free community. So great job to you guys. Thank you,
Sarge.
Well, it's nice to see that you guys are really keeping up that energy that you would normally see, right?
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, and you guys actually went out to, was it St. Anthony, Sarge?
No, sir. St. Anthony, and I wanted to make sure, because during the proclamation, Mr. Chrysostomo, who's the principal, they won 2 years consecutively, 2 years right in a row, our gate contest. And so they are currently holding our perpetual trophy.
Right.
And the school is spirited. They're the ones that took it upon themselves, the initiative, the drive, the love for Kiki, Red Ribbon. They wanted me to send all those photos out. So they're just, again, I can't control the energy. So I just want to pass it and share it with the whole island. So,
right.
Yeah.
Thank you. And we're going to get, Jason's going to pop up those pics that you had sent me there. Let's get Jason, let's get Jason on here. Jay, a school health counselor. You talk about frontliners. You're in there with the kids, day in, day out, promoting that drug-free message. What are some of the things you hear from the students over at Teton High?
Well, like what Sergeant Karina was actually talking about, and Sergeant Tapao, because of the COVID, it's been a real challenge, not only for Teton High, but for a lot of the schools. And we just actually had a training a few weeks ago for all the school counselors to try our best to actually work with the teachers, not only the teachers, but with families. Because of the fact of all the virtual reality going on, how are we going to get into, the homes and help all these kids, especially if they're having problems, and it all starts at home, like, the saying goes. So we were actually trained on checking out with teachers to make sure that the students are if their grades are okay, because once the grades start falling, and we know this, and, as parents, if something's not right with the grades, it's going to lead to something else. And it's our job as school counselors to go in there and, talk to the kids and even the parents, just inadvertently say, hey, mom, dad, how's Johnny doing? Or do you notice anything? Or, things like sleeping habits, eating habits, or even because of the COVID, it's a real shocker with what's going on with the virus. and things that we see every day, the numbers going up, and it affects all of us culturally, because, one way or another, somebody's going to know somebody that this has affected. And it can lead to things like that, like drug use, because of the feeling and the emotions. So that's where we come in and we step in and help, because, I will always remember this, what Sergeant Tapao would always tell the crowds before, if you see something, you got to say something.
Yeah.
And it's a real challenge, for us now because of our situation. So we got to think out of the box a little bit more aggressively, like Sergeant Karina was talking about, and how we can actually reach out to the kids. Then that's what we do.
Thank you, Jace. Sarge, so we're kicking it off here. Can you kind of run through some of the activities you guys have planned for this week?
So for this whole week, it's going to be a couple of education outreaches that are going to be going on for the schools that are requesting. We have pushed out the information to some schools, but again, it's really optional, no obligation, but hope to hear from them. One of the biggest thing that I wanted to say is there is the nationwide Red Ribbon contest. We've never ever joined a nationwide contest because we always would just, we're very local, right? We just do our own contest within. And I am happy to say that was also an option for teachers if they have time, if their students have time, what have you. I'm happy to report that JFK, which is my Islanders graduate. Okay, I won't say the year, but
Geckos.
Mr. Hernandez, who is a high school teacher, was reached out to me and was very interested in the contest. And he was even questioning me, he goes, "Are you sure, Sergeant Andre, that Guam is able to join this contest?" And I was like, "Sure, sir. I read all 5 or 6 pages of the official rules of the national contest, and we do fit in a region there somewhere, and we do, Region 4. And yes. Happy to say that one of his students, Miss Bianca Borja, submitted a photo with her family, and that was one of the photos I sent you, Mr. Chris. And the Nationwide Red Ribbon organization accepted her photo. So we're excited about that. And I'm hoping to hear other schools participating in it as well. So I'm like, yes, we're going to go also for next year. For this coming year, actually, we are going to, Sergeant Tapao and Mr. Cruz, we're going to try and be the ones to actually set forth with the new theme for next year. We need to think of something creative.
Right on.
And also, if I may real quick, Sergeant Andre and I are part of the Thrive Coalition.
Right.
We were also aligning something alongside Red Ribbon, and that's pretty much a Spirit Week to commemorate the drug-free awareness and everything. So, hit up the Thrive Coalition Facebook page. Hit us up for more information and how you can get your schools involved too. With this initiative for a drug-free community. Again, these are unprecedented times, and we want to thank everybody who's making this possible. Jason, Mr. Cruz from Teason High, DOE, and of course all the Red Ribbon Committee, especially the media outlets. Thank you guys so much for really driving home the message of a drug-free community with KUAM, and we're going to be bringing some new things out into the community. But, we're going to be out there, and, speaking of JFK, I got to say something about Mr. Cruz here, number 44. I played opposite side of him, and every time I see him lining up in the I formation, I'm like, oh, Lord, here we go again. Buckle your shoelace, because we're in for a ride. Jace, every time I see you, my brethren, you are the man. Those kids that are listening, the students of Mr. Cruz, those of you who don't know that, Jason Cruz was one of the baddest, to leave it there, fullback, running back, utility player that FD ever had. By far the best bruising back I went against. So it was an honor playing opposite side of him. I hated it, although I enjoyed it. It was either, you sink or swim when 44 was on the line.
Well, yeah. Jason, sounds like you got to watch your back around Sergeant Tapao. He's still holding a grudge.
And now it's all just bodybuilding now. It's all bodybuilding.
It's all bodybuilding.
He was a terror. So,
Yeah.
you know, he was one of the best. So, you know, it was a privilege and an honor to play opposite side of him, you know. There was no greater feeling than getting run over by 44. So,
No greater feeling
All
than
right,
getting
well,
slammed.
Thank you guys. And again, this was brought to you by our friends of the Thrive Coalition, where, again, as you see here, it takes a whole village to raise healthy, drug-free youth. I love your energy, Sergeant Andre. I love that you're so excited. You've been on my dogging the last month prepping for this, and I just love it. I love it when you see people out there who you have to get that message out to the youth. It's so crucial because the drugs and I mean, talk about the other pandemic, right? It's real. It's so real on this island. And to see that
Exactly.
people like you guys are out there, I mean, it means so much to us. So thank you.
thanks, guys.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Thank you very much.
And Thrive Coalition, Kathleen, Mrs. Kathleen Uggan, again, for providing us with this media coverage for the whole week. I mean, for the whole month that you all have accepted us to come in. We're truly appreciative of it and very humbled. And I'll tell you, if we were going back into the schools, I mean, that's all that we're doing is pretty much motivating our youth, encouraging them, and letting them know that we are here for them. And don't be afraid to say something. And just like, and if there's one thing I need to add on too, with Sergeant Paul Tapal's wonderful saying, which I've heard of this from my first Sergeant John Pangolin a long time ago. Parents have to parent up because this is our responsibility, our children, and we need to be there for them. And now more so than ever, it's sort of unusual times, but this is times as well. Even if we're facing the difficult problems of COVID, the parents now have a lot more time with their children, and maybe we can reconnect and just find that balance, that common ground once again, and love your children because they just need love, right, Chris? Everyone just needs
Amen.
love.
That's it.
Everybody.
Yep. Spread the love.
Everybody.
Thank you,
But
guys.
thank you.
And
Thank you. Take care.
talking about love, we have virtual lobster mac and cheese, and it's been portioned out. Sergeant Paul, I gave you 2 portions.
God bless. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, God
Take
bless you
care.
guys. Right on. All right.
It's keto.
Yeah, it's keto. 9:15. Let's just jump right in back into the KUAM News Zoom room. Room 3 here, where Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas is standing by for our hospital update.